Hello, and welcome to the Rob and Benny experiment. RnBe for short. See how clever I am? Stole his joke. That was his joke. That was your joke.
It works.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, like we said last time, we are going to be bringing you a podcast, which is basically this, but we're building a set in the other room. So until we can have that set built, the podcast is going to be here on this couch. This laptop shutting down.
You will get to hear my beautiful tones.
His beautiful tones, sultry tones.
Sultry tones. My attractive voice.
So yes, this is the podcast brought to you by me, Comicstorian, and Rob, Comics Explained from his channel. And before we can get into it, I do want to let you know that we are sharing a gaming channel known as ELIGIBLEMONSTER. Us and a few other individuals on the team are playing various games from 2-player to 3-player to 4-player to Rob hitting like a little girl. And by the time that this video is live, we've already done the real-life Splatoon filming and the actual Splatoon gameplay. Now, unless that came across horrible and I'm talking about something that's not on the channel.
Dude, I do not hit like a little girl. I was trying to figure out how the controllers work.
Well, regardless of that, now you're gonna have a gun that shoots water.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down with that.
You're down with that? You're down with shooting water?
I'm very much down with that.
So if you guys want to join us and chat with us more and just hear us being ourselves, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the podcast every week. But you can also go to Eligible Monster, where you can find me and Rob playing video games. The link to that will be down below.
Yes.
Now, what are we doing today, Rob?
We are running over all the Dark Hulks.
Well, the name of the video is going to be like The Darkest Hulks. I'm going to put a question mark at the end.
The goal is to see if I know as much about the Hulk as I think I do.
Right, so we thought it would be fun, because last time we did the Flash, and we tried to pull up as many as we could, and you guys went ahead and said, hey, you missed a bunch of Flashes, and we asked you to do that. But this time, we're not even going to pretend that we may have the entire list. We definitively do not have the entire list of different Hulks. Nope. And a little side fun story I do want to say. So last week when we did the Flashes, I brought up the CW Flashes with the entirety of hopefully stumping Rob with the Accelerated Man, the Purple Lightning.
That was weird.
And I forgot to mention him in the video.
We got done with the video and he's like, and I forgot the one reason why we use the CW characters. Because of the one person.
Right, the Accelerated Man.
The
I wanted to do the
Man.
Accelerated Man and I completely forgot him.
Yes, but it still came out to be a pretty amazing episode.
Oh no, at least I hope that everyone else enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
So today, I'm gonna pull up a bunch of my Hulks that I found, dark and deep Hulks. And then, if Rob knows them, he'll have the choice of explaining it to you, in me, or he'll let me explain what I have in my notes.
Okay.
Okay? Are you ready for this, Rob?
I'm ready.
Okay, I love how you wore your Hulk shirt.
Yeah, I love how you wore your Hulk shirt. You're wearing a Joker shirt.
I'm promoting another episode that's coming out in about 3 weeks. All the different Jokers.
You know what I want to see?
What?
I want to see a hulked out Joker.
That exists, and that's going to be in our other episode.
Wow.
So good spoilers on that.
Oh, man.
Okay, so we're going to start this one kind of easy, okay?
Okay.
So, well, first, explain the Hulk. So people know who the Hulk is.
Incredible Hulk is a guy named Bruce Banner. He was blasted with gamma radiation, and it gives him unlimited strength. And he gets stronger the angrier he gets.
That's the bare bones version.
That's the
of the
bare
Hulk.
bones version of it.
There are multiple versions throughout the entire history of the character the Hulk, from Bruce Banner to other individuals becoming the Hulk, but there's a lot of different versions because the basic storyline for Bruce Banner is that he's being chased and it doesn't work out for him in the end. It's not interesting in the long run, I think. It makes for great short stories, not long form. So a lot of times they change things up and give him different Hulks, and they give him different alternate universes, and they give him different people.
The origin behind it changes. There's been writers who have said that like the Hulk is just like all this anger and irritation over his life, and different versions of the Hulk represent different aspects of Bruce Banner. So
but the most famous one is bare bones green Bruce Banner turns into a dumb guy that can punch through walls, and he gets angrier, he gets stronger.
Savage Hulk.
Yes, that's the main Hulk that everyone recognizes, even though in all honesty he's not actually used that much in comics.
That is the Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
most of the time that Hulk is removed from fights.
Yeah.
If it's a significant fight, that Hulk is removed.
Because that Hulk is OP. Like it's almost like Worldbreaker Hulk. He's a broken character. He's like Doomfist from Overwatch. Like he's just totally broken.
Are you implying you're gonna play as Doomfist on the Elliot Monster channel?
Man, that's salt.
All right, so that's the bare bones. So we're gonna start at the top of the list, and this is one of my favorites because this guy gets mentioned and no one ever mentions what storyline he came out of.
Okay.
Infernal Hulk. Do you know this one?
No.
This
is a terrible story.
Do you legit not know Infernal Hulk?
I've never heard. Hold on, Infernal Hulk.
Yes, he's the orange one with the horns.
Oh, is that the Cancerverse Hulk?
No.
No?
Wow, we're off to a great start, everyone.
No, Infernal Hulk. The giant
I've done
thing
that story too.
The Thanos imperative, cancer versus
No.
No?
No.
Okay, no, I don't know this.
Okay, so there's a storyline called Identity. There's a storyline the Alien Forward. The cameraman's motioning that you should be in frame.
I'm not afraid.
Okay, so Infernal Hulk is in a storyline called Identity Wars, and it's I believe it's called Identity Wars. I have the video on my channel, and I will link it down below. Okay, but it's Spider-Man, Deadpool, Bruce Banner. I think it's only the three of them. There might be a fourth person that goes with them.
Oh, I want to say I've heard of this.
They get sucked into an alternate universe where Spider-Man is truly evil, and Bruce Banner has become Sorcerer Supreme and found magic to separate himself from the Hulk, and he sends the Hulk to hell.
Wow.
The Hulk then breaks free, but since he's been in hell, he's Infernal Hulk.
Dude, I'm going to make an instance called like the Hulk goes to hell.
That's what it is, yeah.
Wow.
and the Deadpool meets himself, and the other version of Deadpool's like Deathstroke or something. Basically, it's like that's what it is. But it's funny because as I'm reading through this, I'm like, oh yeah, Infernal Hulk. That's a really good story. I already did it. And I'm like, why didn't I name the video Hulk Goes to Hell?
Yeah, do not call it Hulk Goes to Hell now.
But it's a really amazing storyline. Basically, Sorcerer Supreme Bruce Banner they have to fight against the Infernal Hulk, who's here to get revenge on Bruce Banner.
Well, because I thought the Horned Hulk was the same one from the Thanos Imperative.
I'm pretty sure there's another Theranos Imperative Hulk,
that's
but this particular, the Infernal Hulk, that one is from this crossover miniseries.
Okay.
Okay?
Huh.
All right, so let's go to the next one then, okay? I told you.
This could be a disaster.
Rob was like, I've done a ton of videos on Hulk. I think it'd be a great thing if you quiz me to see if I know all of the Hulks. And I'm like, okay, but I pulled out some really obscure ones.
Now, here's the deal. If this all turns out to be like versions of the Hulk that I don't know anything about, then guess what videos we're doing?
Okay, this is an easy one. This is a really easy one.
Okay.
Hulk 2099.
Yes.
Okay. What's the story on him?
Hulk 2099. God, I don't remember his origin, but he was a guy who was obsessed with the Incredible Hulk. Jesus, I don't remember his name.
Okay, so he's a guy who's basically a movie producer.
2099 universe.
Yeah, he's basically a movie producer, and in this future, there's followers of Bruce Banner. I wrote down with the exact. It's a cultist supreme group, and they're called the Knights of Banner. That's what they are. And he's trying to do a documentary. I can never pronounce that. The documentary on the Knights of Banner, and what ends up happening is they say no, and he calls the cops on them, and they set off a gamma radiation bomb, and he basically turns into like a hulked out symbiote version.
Wow.
So like he's got a tongue and claws, and his eyes are
yeah. I know what it looks like.
It looks crazy.
Huh. See, that's the craziest thing too, because I tweeted out, I was like, we should cover Hulk 2099 because it was like a 12-issue run.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that long. Like,
No, it was not well received.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't want to make.
Oh no, it'll look amazing. It'll look amazing.
They already hated him.
Okay, so my third one.
Okay.
I'm reaching into the deep dark web again.
You are reaching into some obscure versions.
Okay.
You started at the bottom of the Wikipedia article.
No, actually I didn't.
And worked all the way up to the top.
These first ones are the ones that I knew off the top of my head.
Wow.
I covered Identity War. Anyway, Shulk.
Oh, that's Solomon Grundy Hulk.
Yes. Okay.
But I do not remember. God, I barely remember. Was that like Marvel versus DC?
That was Marvel versus DC.
Okay.
That was the Resolution. Yes. Hulk merge of Solomon Grundy.
Was the Amalgam universe?
Yeah, pretty much some of the characters were really cool in the Amalgam universe. This was a really lame version. Basically, Bruce Banner somehow merged with the Solomon Grundy character, and so whenever he hulks out, he turns into Solomon Grundy.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Irradiated on a Monday.
Okay. Do you know about I'm assuming you know the run itself.
Okay.
But do you know the bullet points Hulk?
Ooh. I don't think so. Okay, who wrote it?
I don't know who wrote it off the top of my head. Bullet points is a universe where the super soldier serum was not created.
Okay.
So it's a completely different path for the Marvel universe.
Okay.
And in this universe, Peter Parker runs out to save a character from the gamma radiation and becomes the Hulk. And in an attempt to save his life and turn him back to normal, Bruce Banner gets bitten by a radioactive spider.
Wow.
So it's a Peter Parker Hulk.
Spider-Man Hulk.
Spider-Man Hulk.
Wow.
Well, that's actually next on our list.
So
if you don't know this one.
So we're batting 1 for 5 right now. I got one right so far.
Well, I'm going to jump a little ahead on my list for another one that you may or may not know. I know you loved the Secret Wars event, right?
Yes.
Do you know a Spider Hulk?
I think so.
Okay, what is it then?
Spider Hulk. I'm running through the catalog of stories that I read for Secret Wars.
We haven't even gotten near the bottom of my list yet, by the way.
Dude, I'm actually kind of scared to see
the comments.
Yeah, because people are gonna be like, this guy's done like 50 videos on the Hulk. I didn't even know most of them. He doesn't even know hardly anything about the Hulk.
So in the Secret Wars event, there is a what if Spider Island never got resolved and everyone became a spider creature. The Hulk became a Spider Hulk.
Oh no, he became like an actual spider, didn't he?
No.
I thought that was the whole point. I thought it was a continuation of the original Spider Island.
Right. Everyone gets merged with spider DNA, so they all become spider versions of themselves.
Yes.
Right, so you become Spider Hulk, which leads to Lizard Hulk. Because in order to break the mind control that the Spider Queen has over all of these spider superheroes, they have to change him into other animals. So he becomes Lizard Hulk.
Wow. Guys, I don't know if finishing the rest of this video is a good idea. Because now, well, no, because the comments are going to be like, well, now you got to do all these versions of the Hulk. Right?
Yeah, you got
to do all these stories. Well, guess what? Like, we're dedicating a day for Hulk.
Okay. I'm going crazy again.
Okay.
I'm assuming you know about Ultimate Hulk, right? Ultimate Universe Hulk?
Yeah.
The one that was pretty much crazy and wild and just tore people apart.
He stayed great the entire time.
Yeah. So, do you know about Tyrone Cash?
Tyrone Cash?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, see, I went with an easy one. This is in the Ultimate Universe.
Tyrone Cash.
Okay, so Bruce Banner and this character, I wrote his official name down, is his mentor, and I never really knew, Leonard Williams.
I mean, I know the origin behind how Bruce Banner became Ultimate Hulk.
Right, well, he worked with a guy named Leonard Williams.
Yes.
Okay, that was his mentor. Leonard Williams went missing when the gamma radiation went off.
Okay.
Leonard Williams is a black Hulk who keeps the intelligence that he had before he became Hulk, and he ran away and basically went missing. They thought he was dead, and he's basically, where is it? He's a drug-peddling, super intelligent, sadistic Hulk. Nick Fury had to bring in his Black Ops team to go stop Tyrone Cash.
Wow.
So Leonard Williams goes by the name Tyrone Cash when he gets into New York, which is why no one knew he was still alive.
Is he that version of the Hulk, or that character that they rolled over into the all new, all different Captain America Sam Wilson story?
I don't think Tyrone Cash is in that one.
Oh, okay.
He's basically the Hulk, but he's intelligent.
Huh.
So like an evil Hulk.
He's like an evil, black, smart Hulk.
Yeah, who peddles drugs.
Who peddles drugs. Yeah, that doesn't sound racist at all.
Every comment from our last one was, it's not racist to call them the black and the white Wally West.
I'm Marvel. That's, hey guys, here's a black version of the Incredible Hulk. And you know what he does? He deals drugs. Marvel. That's kind of bad. Wow.
Okay, all right. This is an easy one. You have to, although I've said that about all of these, and you're not batting so hot.
I'm batting terribly.
Okay,
Wow.
Hulk pool.
Yes.
Okay, the Deadpool becomes the Hulk, travels through time,
Yes,
kills Adolf Hitler, Red Skull.
That was during Fall of the Hulks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he makes an alternate timeline where no one becomes a superhero.
Okay, so we are 2 for like 6 or 7 right now.
Okay.
All right.
So here's another kind of easy one. You may know it. Okay. Ape Hulk. He's a literal ape that turns into the Hulk.
That is that from the Marvel Zombies stories?
The Marvel Zombie spin-off story.
Well, it's the story where they go
storyline.
they end up going to like a different planet where there's apes.
Yeah.
And they all get turned into zombies.
They all get turned into zombies.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird. Like Captain America Ape was kind of weird. It was like Captain America Gorilla. It was kind of weird. It was a strange story. I read enough of it to know that I didn't want to read the rest, and so I just closed it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this one. Explain to me Ruins Hulk.
Oh god, dude, Ruins Hulk that's the worst case scenario. There's a story called Marvel Ruins, and it's basically what would have happened if like superheroes had emerged in like the real world. And so instead of like Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk after being, bombarded with like gamma radiation, he's just got like all these boils and blisters and dies in this really horrific way.
Tears him open, the tumors.
It's awful. Yeah, it's a really terrible, like Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, just like it's really dark. It's pretty depressing. Like, yeah, it's a really bad story.
Not so good. Okay, all right.
Well, it's a really well written story, but it's really bad in terms of all the stuff that happens inside of it. Yeah. It's rough.
Okay, so what are you batting right now, Rob?
I'm batting terribly. Wow. Okay, so wow, man. Like
How many?
The more
let's go to the list. Okay, ready? So my list here.
Let's go to the list.
You missed Infernal.
Okay, so that's one.
Yep. You got Hulk 2099.
Okay.
You got Shulk.
Yep.
You missed Bullet Points.
Okay.
You missed Tyrone Cash.
Okay.
You missed Spider Hulk.
Okay.
You got Hulk Pool.
All right.
You got Ape Hulk.
Okay.
And I gave you Ruins Hulk.
So we're 4 for 5.
Yeah.
Roughly. No, we're not. We're 4 for 9. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, something along those lines.
You got 4 right out of 9. So you're batting not too bad. Like a 45%.
Yeah, I mean, if this was like school, I'd be failing. Whatever. It's not school, so who cares?
Okay, all right. I'm going to try to stump you.
Okay.
Old Man Hulk.
Old Man Hulk. Ooh. That can go one of two ways. That can go Maestro Hulk or Old Man Logan Hulk.
Or neither.
Neither. Old Man Hulk.
There is an actual Old Man Hulk that is separate from, in the wikis and stuff, he was referred to as Landlord Hulk.
What story was he in?
Old Man Hulk, The End.
Oh, I never read Hulk The End.
I never read that.
I know it exists. There's a
so
whole
it's
line
the
of
story of the Hulk at the end of the world.
Oh, no. Yes, I read Hulk The End. Love this story. Okay, it's like one of the saddest stories ever because it ends and it's like Hulk is alone, Hulk is sad. I almost cried at the end of that story. I was like, oh my god. Okay, so there's this story where like the entire Earth's inhabitants are eradicated in like a nuclear war or something like that.
Yeah,
like
everything's gone. Like nuclear. We're in a dystopian future. Nothing's left.
And Hulk is the only survivor on Earth.
Yeah.
And like one of those Rigelian recorders shows up and it's like, yeah, man, nobody misses you. In fact, they're glad you're gone. Like it's one of those weird things that like everybody in the universe is glad that humans are gone.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Hulk like lives his life always being eaten by like these massive bugs and stuff like that. But eventually, Bruce Banner pops in from time to time. You know, Bruce Banner's like an old guy.
Doesn't he talk to himself?
Yeah, he talks to himself. And then eventually the Banner persona dies of a heart attack at the end of the story. And so like the Incredible Hulk is just the only being there. Like he's just left by himself. It's really sad. Like it's a very sad story.
So do we give you that one or not?
Yes, we give me that one because I explained the story. I ran over this.
Okay, all right, we'll give you that one.
If I just said it's a dystopian future with an old Hulk, that wouldn't.
Okay, are you ready for a curveball?
Ready for a curveball.
Savage Banner.
Savage Banner.
Yeah. Not Savage Hulk. Savage Banner.
Savage Banner.
Yes.
There's a couple things I think of the couple things that I think this could be. The one thing that I think it could probably be would be like from the Jason Aaron run where Banner and Hulk were split.
Nope.
No. Okay.
You're trying.
Savage Banner.
It's from a '90s Hulk story. I'll give you that little hint. That's all I can give you.
That little hint from a '90s Hulk story.
So we're going way back.
Are we talking about like Heroes Reborn?
Nope.
Savage Banner.
Are you gonna forfeit this one?
I don't want to. Savage Banner.
Come on.
All right, we can't drag this out forever.
Okay.
What's Savage?
So in the '90s, there was a period where we had Professor Hulk.
Oh yes. That was Professor Hulk was a result of Guild Hulk and Devil Hulk merging into one person.
Right. Well, I was gonna let you explain those. So explain those because I know you have a video on it.
It's not Guild Hulk and Devil Hulk. It's Savage Hulk and Grey Hulk merging into one
yes
person
and no.
into Banner.
You're close.
And it results in Professor Hulk. Yeah.
Right. So what's decided is like I forget who's the one that told him about it, but basically they figured out that Banner, Grey Hulk, and Green Hulk were all in the same body, and that
Doc Samson was the one that did that.
Doc Samson's okay. And they decided that if they somehow worked it out, they could all be in one. Like you said, that's Professor Hulk. He's literally, supposedly, the strongest Hulk, the smartest Hulk. He's everything you want the Hulk to eventually become.
Oh, but Banner's like the dark side?
So what it turns out is, like they thought this was the amalgamation of all three of them to make one ultimate super being. And as the storyline goes on, we discover that that this is not the amalgamation. In actuality, Professor Hulk is a fourth personality, and he's chained up the others. And Banner is chained up and savage, so when he reverts to Banner, he's just angry and ruthless and demented.
Do you know what's so funny about that?
What?
I just did the origin of like Guild Hulk. And
I know.
Right at that point. It stops just before what you just said.
Okay, so give the viewers of the and the listeners of the podcast here a quick rundown of what Guild Hulk and Devil Hulk are, because I was going to mention them, but I knew you were going to have those.
Devil Hulk, I'm not 100%.
By the way, you don't get credit for Savage Banner.
Devil Hulk, I'm not 100% familiar with, but I believe Devil Hulk had been around for quite a while, even when Guild Hulk showed up. Guild Hulk was basically the idea. It was like if Bruce Banner's father was a Hulk. It was like all the guilt and all the anger and all the rage that Bruce Banner kind of had like repressed. It was a wholly different version of the Hulk personality. And eventually it took, inside the mind of Bruce Banner, it took Grey Hulk, Savage Hulk, and Banner to finally defeat it, I think. And then eventually it came back later on.
Yeah.
Devil Hulk I'm not super familiar with. I know of him, but I haven't done his origin story yet.
Oh, I thought you did, so I didn't write anything down, and I don't know anything about him myself.
No, I mean, he looks cool. Like, he's a super beastly thing. But no, I don't remember too much about him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's...
I mean, I'm just gonna give myself the Devil Hulk. Because I know of him. You have
well,
to
you're at like
I know
5 and like 7, I want to say.
Well, I'll take it. Whatever.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to quiz you because I know you know of this Hulk,
Okay.
but I don't know if you know the story.
Okay.
Clue.
Yes, oh my God, dude, this story's stupid.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you this though.
All right.
There's actually 2.
Yes.
Okay, so can you explain both?
I know.
There's that. For those of you guys who were like, Clue,
There's
the
old-
Hulk's
there's old
out.
school.
There's
Yeah.
an old school Clue and then there's a new Clue, or Claw.
Yeah.
What are they, how's it pronounced?
It's
Is it
Claw
Claw?
or something like that? I don't remember.
It's the Hulk backwards.
Yeah. The old school one, I don't know anything about.
It's an issue. I saw it this morning when I was looking up. I'm like, okay, I don't know much about the old school guys.
It's like Hulk 277 or
No, it's in
something
Hulk
like
30 of
Hulk-
the
oh.
Jeff Loeb run.
Oh, okay.
And it's like an alien being, or maybe the Thinker created like another version of the Hulk, fought against him, they got rid of him in that one issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that was all it was.
All right, the one that everybody has been asking me to make a video on, which I will do, that version was out of that terrible story Axis.
It's the only thing that him and Superior Iron Man are the only 2 things anyone remembers from Axis.
Not only that, they totally wasted the Claw character. It's what happens when the Incredible Hulk hulks out. It's the Hulk's Hulk.
Well, yes, but so it's triggered by the Hulk being sad.
Yes.
So the idea of the Axis event is that
It inverted everything.
it averted everyone's emotion. So if you were happy, you were sad. If you were sad, you were happy. If you were angry, you got turned to, like that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like Carnage was sadistic, so he became
good guy.
overwhelmingly wanted to
And
help
he
people.
actually had like an amazing story too
Yeah.
when he did that.
But yeah, I mean, and Tony Stark became a bad guy, and everyone asks me to do Superior Iron Man, but it didn't end.
Yeah.
That-
Well,
no.
I mean, I'll do that at some point.
So anyway, the Hulk is angry. So
Yeah.
his inversion was sadness.
Yes.
And when he gets overly sad, he hulked out.
Now, having said that, Claw actually looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, he looked pretty beastly with the red eyes and like the mohawk or whatever, it was kind of cool looking.
So we had
think he had
sad Hulk, basically.
Yes.
Now, what happened in the story, though? Do you know that? I'll give you this if you know the story.
No, I don't know what happened in the story.
Okay.
I got far enough, like, it was weird to me, but I got far enough where Claw manifested and then took off.
And that's the last we saw of him.
That was it?
No.
Oh.
But he went to Nova. Not even joking.
Kid like Sam Alexander?
Sam
Nova?
Alexander, Little
Kid
Nova.
Nova.
They have this amazing Hulk that is stronger and more badass than regular Hulk, and they used him as a Nova villain.
Wow. See, that's why I didn't care enough to follow up.
Here's two issues. He fought against Sam Alexander Nova. Sam Alexander Nova did it to prove that he could actually take out someone as strong as the Hulk.
Wow.
And I think he had help from someone, I don't remember at this point, but I thought I'd cover the Sam Alexander versus Claw.
Jesus.
Claw, whatever his name is.
I don't know. Clue. I wouldn't have a clue.
Everyone likes freaking out because of the design, but that's literally, like, that was it. He shows up, leaps away.
He
I
looked
think he
cool.
shows up near the ending for a fight.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Against the Red Skull.
there's nothing that happens with him.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's weird.
Sam Alexander beats him, but he doesn't really beat him.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time he's like, I can't beat the Hulk! And, Claw's beating him.
Yeah. It's strange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, that's Claw. Everyone wanted to know the story. That's the story. I'll cover it myself. I'll cover the fight. He'll cover what it is. Okay. Zombie Hulk. Come on, that's an easy one. You said it earlier.
The Marvel Zombie
Right.
Hulk.
You want to explain the nuances of him, though?
Ooh. That is going to take... God, it's going to take some memory. Because I covered all the Marvel Zombie stuff. Damn.
So anyway, Zombie Hulk is just like every other zombie, trying to eat brains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The fun part about him, though, was whenever he would eat food and brains and stuff, he would then be sated and he would turn back into Banner, whose stomach would then burst open again with all of the food that the Hulk ate.
When did they cover that?
That was in Marvel Zombies.
I don't remember that in Marvel Zombie.
Yeah, his stomach would burst open every time he'd revert back. So then when he would get hungry again, he would turn into the Hulk and heal.
I covered all the Marvel Zombie stuff. I don't remember that.
Dylan, the editor, is going to put it on the screen right now. I can find
I'm
the
not
mail.
saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't remember.
He
it.
reversed down and he's always panicking. He's like, oh, I can feel the bones protruding. I can feel the bones. And it bursts out of his stomach. And he would tear open, and then when he got hungry again, he reverts back to the Hulk. That's the actual what happens to Zombie Hulk.
That's weird.
I mean, this is the same universe where Spider-Man uses his veins as webbing. I mean,
yeah, but then he turned against all the other zombies.
yeah, well,
Because he had
the
to
Hulk
eat-
didn't.
They made him eat, like his zombie infection made him eat Aunt May and Mary Jane.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Hulk then turns into one of the cosmic zombies,
Yeah.
which just kind of breaks all their rules.
Maybe that's where I remember him from, because I remember there was a point where they ate Thanos.
Yeah.
They ate they ate Ego the Living Planet. They ate Galactus. They
Yeah.
ate the Silver Surfer. They ate everything in the universe.
Yeah, that was the whole point. And then they had to change universes because they ate everything in the universe.
Yes, I remember that.
And Spider-Man was still a bad guy until the end of that.
Yes.
When he realized they had finished off an entire universe.
It was Marvel Zombies Return, I think, where he became a good guy.
There was like so many of those Marvel Zombies books. So, okay. We are now coming to the close of the rare ones that I have found.
Okay.
Okay? Do you have any you'd like to mention?
The rare ones that you have found.
Yeah. Oh, what's the total up, by the way?
No,
I'm not giving you Claw, because you didn't know the story.
Dude, I lost count, man.
Okay, so I'm not giving you Claw.
I would have been keeping count.
I'm keeping Devil Hulk.
Okay.
You didn't get Savage Banner.
Okay.
You didn't know the story of Zombie Hulk.
It doesn't matter, man.
You didn't know it.
One great big huge.
You didn't know it.
Jumble.
You didn't know it.
stuff.
You didn't know it.
Oh, fine.
You didn't know Spider Hulk, which technically gives me Lizard Hulk as well.
No, that's not true.
That is.
No,
They're one and the same.
It only counts as one.
No, it doesn't.
It only counts as one. one point.
Tyrone Cash, Bullet Points Hulk, and Infernal Hulk. I got 9.
Okay.
8 if you want to go ahead and count Spider Hulk and Lizard Hulk as 1.
Okay, fine. Then.
But you did get Hulk 2099.
Okay.
Shulk.
Okay.
Hulk Full.
All right.
Ape Hulk.
All right.
I gave you Ruin, so we'll do that.
Okay.
I got Meister on the list, but I knew you'd be able to explain him. We're going to close out the video with that.
Yeah, I know.
I'll give you Old Man Hulk because you did know the story once.
Marvel the End, yeah.
Yep, you got a Guilt Hulk.
Okay.
And that's it. You got 7 to my 8.
I counted 8.
Huh?
I counted.
How did you count 8?
Because I can count.
Because
Because I'm an adult.
I'm an adult, I can count, Benny. I know what I'm doing over here.
Okay, so 8 to 8.
8 to 8.
8 to 8.
Okay, so I'll let you take this. I'll let you take this whole championship.
Okay.
All right. If you can explain to me, Orange Hulk.
What? Orange Hulk.
I'm gonna pull him up to verify my information's correct. Okay. I'm pulling him. I didn't write him down because I thought you. I assumed you'd know.
Orange Hulk.
Orange Hulk. Here's your images. Orange Hulk. Rob's cheating right now, guys.
I'm not cheating.
He's looking at my page.
Earth.
Orange Hulk is from
Earth 295.
Yeah.
That's the Age of Apocalypse universe.
Yeah. This Hulk is also known as Solar Hulk.
Okay, that's why I don't remember him, because in the Age of Apocalypse storyline, that never happened.
Well, guess what?
Like,
that gives me 9.
No, because you're pulling up a chain. No, that doesn't count.
How does it not count?
No, you can't do that because nobody read anything about Age of Apocalypse after
That doesn't.
Nobody read anything about that.
That doesn't matter.
No, that doesn't. That
Yeah,
doesn't.
I have Orange Hulk. That's 9.
No, it doesn't count.
Yes, it does count.
God.
I'm actually real. I didn't put him on the list because I assumed you would know who Orange Hulk is.
I know what universe he's from, but that doesn't count because that universe doesn't matter anymore. That universe mattered for like 6 months.
By those rules, like half the things we mentioned don't matter.
No, that's not true.
So basically, he's on the Black Legion. He served under Weapon Omega.
Yes.
He is presumably constructed by McCoy and Sugarman of their genetic recombinant vats.
he's
We don't
from,
actually
like,
know
Darkness.
that much about him.
Yeah, because he's from a universe that nobody read
Right.
after the 1990s.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
There's not actually that much on him, but he's basically solar-based, and he gets his powers from like solar
when was
radiation.
he made? 2011. Like 6 years after.
X-Force 20. I did that story.
Well, I'm glad
Uncanny
you did.
X-Force.
Well, that's cool.
That's where Wolverine and then went like a Black Ops team, and they had to go kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, I know what
And
it
they
is.
ended up in this universe.
They were a team that was made by Cyclops. But dude, nobody cares about Age of Apocalypse after like 1994.
It doesn't matter.
95.
It gives me 9 to 7. It gives me 9 to 7.
No, it doesn't. I have 8.
Oh, we had 8 to 8?
Yeah.
I technically had 9 if you counted both Lizard and Spider Hulk separate, which brings me to 10.
No. No, okay, 9 to 8. 9 to 8.
9 to 8?
The score is 9 to 8.
Okay, 9 to 8.
Now I'm trying to think of the most obscure version of the Hulk that I can think of. One that you probably wouldn't have had on your list.
How about the Abdigeny one? The one that was raised by a tribe in Australia.
The Aboriginal Hulk.
God damn, he knows that one.
All right. Okay.
Actually, why would I assume you wouldn't know that one? That's House of M.
Yes, it is House of M. I'm trying to think of one.
Why don't you explain the Maestro so we can close up the video?
No, I'm trying to think of an even better one.
What? Rarest Hulk ever?
Okay. If you get this.
Okay.
If you get this,
I take this entire thing?
If you get
even
this,
though I'm already ahead?
Yeah. Because this is. Hold on. You're ahead by 1. So I'm down by 1.
Yeah.
All right, this is a 2-point question.
Oh, what?
Yes, 2-point question. 2-point question.
Okay.
Right? If you can tell me when this happened, all right, you win the whole thing. But
Okay.
If I can't.
All right.
Then I get the Hulk.
This will be the conclusion to the podcast today.
Yes.
Our discussion of the Hulks.
Yes.
Okay.
Universal Hulk.
Universal Hulk.
Yes. The like Herald of Galactus Hulk.
Okay. I know this one. You're not referring to the Red Hulk stealing the Silver Surfer's board and going on that adventure,
No,
right?
but that was cool. That was really, I love that, man, because there's this amazing scene where he's just like riding.
Yeah, he's just riding a Silver Surfer's
Surfer.
board. Red Hulk going on an adventure.
Yes.
Okay, I do know this one. I don't know what story it's a part of though.
Okay.
But I know he becomes the Herald of Galactus. Isn't it a what if storyline? Isn't it Planet Hulk what if?
God damn it! Man, not.
I won! You like that setup, by the way?
Well,
You like that? You like that?
Well, hold on. Run that by me again.
What if Planet Hulk?
Huh. I win. What if World War Hulk? Yes! 2 points.
It's the same thing!
Nope, you got it
There's
wrong.
not separate
you got it wrong.
ones.
You got it wrong.
They're the same thing!
Two different stories. Planet Hulk is.
Is there literally a separate? I've only known about the World War Hulk one. I just always considered the one whole thing.
No, I have no idea.
I don't think there's a what if Planet Hulk. I'm pretty sure it's only what if World War Hulk.
Just because you think 2 + 2 = 5 doesn't mean that it does.
It's the same storyline.
2 + 2 = 4.
It's the same
The story
story.
is the story is called World War Hulk. What if? All right, you guys decide.
I'll
You
let the
guys-
comments
you guys
decide if I get that. If I get that one.
Because I feel like I win. The
The commenters will decide if I
Oh.
took that.
All right.
Because I'm saying, regardless of the stories are close enough, Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, I feel like I got that one.
Yes, you got that one.
Okay.
And I got that one.
Regardless of me
think
calling
I-
it the wrong title, you just need to be aware, I did it. I knew it.
You had a general idea of it. You knew at some point.
Okay,
in the
wait,
line that
hold
version
on,
of
hold
Hulk
on.
existed.
We've given you multiple Hulks that you had general ideas of.
Well, no, because I was able to explain the story. You didn't explain the story. What happened in that story?
I haven't read it, so I don't know. I know of it, because you covered it.
No, okay. See, that's the only reason I couldn't think of
I knew
anything
you
else
covered
about
it, that's why I knew
Okay,
the story.
So we're gonna wind this video down. Maestro Hulk. All right, Maestro Hulk is from a story called Future Imperfect, and it is basically a story very similar to like Old Man Hulk.
Yeah.
Where it was a nuclear irradiated world, but there are still smatterings of people that live, and they all live in a place called Dystopia. But Maestro Hulk is like stronger and faster and smarter than like the regular Hulk is, because he's just imbued with all this nuclear radiation.
Right, well that depends on which of the Maestro. There's actually quite a few.
I'm talking about the original Maestro.
Okay, I was like, there's a couple at this
But
point.
there's Maestro from Secret Wars, and there's Maestro
Yeah.
who's back now, and Old Man Logan, and there's different versions of Maestro. But the original Maestro was at the time the strongest Hulk there had ever been. World Breaker Hulk, I think, would give him a run for his money. But at the time, it was the strongest version of the
Professor
Hulk.
Hulk potentially could.
Yeah.
Because he's still
Professor-
documented as being the strongest Hulk past World Breaker.
I guess. But there's two different stories of two
Well,
different
see,
and they've never
the
met.
problem with Professor Hulk is they claimed that, but he never saw it because he had a check in place that if he ever got angry, he would turn into Savage Banner.
Yeah.
So you never really knew if he really was
It would be
strong.
cool to see them meet, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Like a Hulk-Off?
Yeah, like, oh, dude, man, let me tell you, I would love to see that story where it's like just all these different versions of the Hulk all fighting.
They
each
did
other.
Ghost Riders. Why don't they have like the Hulks?
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Yeah,
Marvel,
so-
why have you not done that yet?
Okay, well anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Rob and Benny Experiment,
Yes.
RnB for short. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give us another topic to talk about down below. We are working on the Joker one. I'm gonna stump the hell out of Rob on the Joker.
Wow, what, is it just all the different versions of the Joker?
Well, I was debating either talking about that or talking about why we don't see the Joker that often. Because there's actually a reason behind that.
Is there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm already stumped.
No, okay.
I don't know the reason behind it.
Maybe it'd be more interesting
about-
if you dug up a bunch of Jokers and tried to stump me.
Oh, dude, that would work. We'll do that. I will dig up
All
a
right,
whole bunch
guys.
of versions of the Joker.
At this point, you probably have already seen it at the opening of the video with little dangles that say Twitters for Comicstorian and Comics Explained. But if you didn't, you can go check our Twitters at Comicstorian and Comics Explained, because maybe you're listening to the audio version of this.
Maybe.
And don't forget, we both have YouTube channels. I have Comicstorian. He has Comics Explained. This week on Comicstorian, when this episode goes live, we're already doing DC versus Marvel, and I don't remember what comes after.
Yeah, I got Dark Days of Casting. Like, whatever.
Yeah, so you can just go check out our channels. Rob explains things, I dramatically read it back to you, and this has been the RnB Experiment. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's send this off with some sick beats. No?
You're like the whitest person I ever met.